So right now we're live streaming, and Sean, one of the dearest members of the community, brought this comment to my attention. There's a badass article about aggressive skating in today's New York Times. So thank you, Sean, for bringing that to my attention. So immediately we went over to take a look at whatever could it be. Rollerblading in the national news, in the mainstream media. Let's take a look. So if we actually go over to Instagram.com, to Mesmer's profile here, they posted this up, and we're gonna take a second. Right after this, we're gonna go look at the actual article. I am on probably a half lethal dose of pre-workout right now, so please just bear with me. I don't know why I do this to myself. I don't know why I do this to you, but let's keep it moving. Katie Viola is in this New York Times article along with Sebastian, one of their new rippers. Oh, can I scroll up? No, I can't. Okay, maybe I can. There we go. And Sebastian. Anyway, and so they shout out their homies shredding in the New York Times article, and they call out they call out USA Today, which is fantastic. Very nice. All right, so if we go over to actual New York Times, which I will link to this article down in the description below, but NewYorkTimes.com at more skate parks and aggressive takeover. So basically, this article kind of goes through talking about the lore of aggressive skating and talk about, back in the 90s. And then they even talk about getting kicked out of the X Games and stuff like that. They kind of go through like the whole shebang here on a lot of the lore of aggressive skating, which is really cool. And there's a lot of, they talk with Julio. They mention Julio a lot. Is it Kayla Dizon? Yeah, they talk with Kayla Dizon, talk about how she got into it, what she likes about it, etc. Got into it during the COVID pandemic, and also talk about her big gnarly bruises with the super fresh 909 setup here as well. Oh, that's interesting. It's like an accent bolt. Enhance. It's like a nice little, it's like all black axles and then one little accent bolt. I dig it. I'm with it. And then a little Kato hold action. It's definitely like them skates heavy. So here we have like Broskow, SD in the house. And they go through, they talk about some of the like the headbutting we had, some of the tensions we had with skateboarding and all that stuff. So it's a really cool article that kind of looks at it from an outsider's perspective. They a couple people mentioned in chat that like it does feel a little bit chat GPT generated in a way, which I don't know, that's probably going to become more and more prevalent as time goes on. But yeah, it talks with they interview Julio, talked about some of how he got into it, talked about again X Games, etc. They talk about some of the Blading Cup here, Jesus Rivera getting right after it. And then I thought this was kind of funny. Like, hey, who do you think that I should film next? She's like, him, right here. I don't know. That's just what made sense in my head. But anyway, it's a fun article and it's cool. It really sheds the light on our sport at a very high level. And so it's pretty cool. Talked with Broskow too, who had dyed blue hair, parted neatly down the middle, and wore silver and turquoise rings. Sailed across the schoolyard's metal handrails and up its steep inclines with a grace that belied the difficulty of his moves. Again, I'll link to this in the description below. It's actually pretty darn long too, man. It is not a short read, which is cool. It's not like just a little snippet. It's pretty in depth. They go through a lot of the history and again talk with Julio quite a bit, and it's a good read. So anyway, check it out. I think it's a good thing getting skating out into the media, and Julio has been really good about this in the past with his collaborations with Clark and Weekend Skateboards and etc. and getting into Zoomies. Is it Zoomies? Yeah, Zoomies. So hats off to Julio for getting into the public limelight in one way or another. So strong work. Anyway, rollerbitters, hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.